All right, welcome everybody. Those who are joining us, happy Monday to you. Actually, happy Monday. All right, we are back live. Happy Monday, everybody. This is Talk with Anand, episode number 16. We are going live pre-game before the Flames and Panthers game. Lots to talk about this evening. If you're joining us, welcome. If you're watching from Twitter, Twitter lines are open at CGY underscore Anand. YouTube live chat is open, AU's vlog. I don't have any guests with me today, so it will be a solo show from me. But if you are hearing out there, just say hello and welcome to the show to all of you. Um, if you missed the memo, just be advised that um, we are live for the Flames pre-game show, where the Flames are taking on Florida Panthers. We have lots to talk about. We'll start with weather first, and then we'll do traffic, and we'll do Flames hockey talk as well. Just a reminder once again, YouTube live chat is open at AU's vlog. Twitter lines are open at CGY underscore Anand if you're joining us live. And I'm just going to get it shared on my social medias that I'm live, and we'll get started right away. But thanks for joining us on this Monday afternoon. If you are watching the Flames game as well, let us know where you're watching the game from. If you're watching live from Saddle Dome tonight, or if you're going to watch from home, we would love to hear from you as well. So keep the YouTube live chats open. AU's vlog. I'm live on Twitter as well at CGY underscore Anand. All right, and we have Tuxedo on our show to begin with, and Tuxedo is in our live chat. Who scores first? All right, so I did a little lucky spin wheel tonight, and I did guess Martin Pospisil might be the Flames' first goal scorer tonight, but we don't know yet. We'll wait and see. Game is at 7:30 for those who don't know about that as well. I see viewers jumping in quickly. Welcome everybody. It's happy to have you again. Once again, my guest is Martin Pospisil for the Flames' first goal tonight. We'll see what's going to happen. It's going to be an interesting Jacob Markstrom with first goal. All right. Okay. And that will be okay. Now, are we talking about Jacob Markstrom goal, or are we talking about Jacob Markstrom assist? So that will be interesting. Which one, whether it be. Um, let's wait and see. Let me just quickly see if I can put it on my Instagram that I'm live. I just want to share it to places wherever I can. But Marquee hat trick. Okay. That's interesting. Good viewpoint. Let's see if it happens. I I hope so. Maybe it will be interesting. Um, but we'll see what happens. So, few news items to share coming from the Flames locker room. Chris Tanev is back with the team. Jacob Markstrom is back with the team. So, we'll see what happens. It will be an interesting journey ahead for the Flames. We have the one of the best defensemen who is like a warrior back with the team, and we have Tuxedo saying Jacob Markstrom might score an hat trick, which is a fun thought. Definitely, we'll see what happens. Yeah, he's just kidding. All right, got it. Yeah, Tuxedo is kidding. All right, so Florida Panthers are in town. Matthew Kachuk. I have a jersey of him, but I'm gonna say Flames. Flames have a chance to win at it. Okay, now your actual pick is Huberdeau. That's totally fair against his former team. Coming off 115 points from the Florida Panthers, we acquired Jonathan Huberdeau. He has been not at his best recently. So it might be interesting if he can score tonight. We'll see. Hopefully, it's a Flames' first goal, or maybe down the road, second or third goal. We'll see what happens. I really want a Flames win tonight. That's my vibe. I have another item to share as well, which I'll share in a bit if you're sticking around a little longer. But I'll just say this: Twitter lines are open at CGY underscore Anand. YouTube live chat is open, AU's vlog. You Huberdo has been giving me depression as of late. I mean, to me as well, to anybody in the Flames community, Huberdo is giving a depression. That's for sure. And we don't know how we can fix him, but that's the reality. Yeah. Huberdo is the talk of everywhere in the Flames locker room. Before it was Kadri at the beginning of the season, but he has turned around with Pospisil and Zari on his line. Okay, Huberto and Dubé might be the two most players that's giving me depression. Rushitska also mainly a little bit, but the rest, Sharangovic, Sharangovic, Greer, Konazari, Pospisil, they are on fire, and that is in good terms, good ways that it's happening. So yeah, definitely going to be interesting what we see from the Flames. Once again, game is at 7:30 p.m. It's sometime unusual. I go live before a pre-game show, but here I am because my classes are done. My evenings are free. I'll be here more often. But yeah, thanks for joining us. Once again, Twitter lines are open at CJ underscore Anand. YouTube live chats is open, AU's vlog. And we haven't talked about traffic and weather yet. I'll keep that towards the end because it's Flames game soon. I want to cover as much as possible, answer all of your questions if possible, and get some reactions going. But Huberto's career might be over now. That's an interesting point. The saddest part is we'll have to see him for another 7 or so years, which is going to be hard to watch and difficult to see what happens. Hopefully, Pelche might be the answer. Pelche might return back in January. We are waiting for line changes. We are waiting for some trades to happen. We were talking about Lindholm, Dubé, Hannafin, probably Tanov, and one of the goalkeepers are going to be traded as well. We are keeping eye on everything. Um, yeah, we don't know. It's going to be an interesting season ahead for the Flames. Um, and thanks, Tuxedo, for this quick, nice comment. I love the live so much. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Thanks for the comment. Appreciate it. Share it with your friends, family members. And if you are listening live, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I love the enthusiasm when we are on board. We have more chats going. And yeah, it's interesting to do Flames Hockey Talk with you all, something I would never have imagined doing. But thanks to my broadcasting program right now, I'm able to do all this and share the happiness with you all. All right, let's keep it rolling. Once again, I told you about we have two big news coming from the Flames locker room tonight. Jacob Markstrom is back after getting hit on the hand. He had a massive hand injury and he was on injury reserve for the most of couple of weeks, but now he's back. Chris Tanner was also back after what game was it? A few games ago when he got boarded and we got no call 15 seconds into the game. He was taken out of the ice. He returns tonight. So it will be see how the Flames can play together against him. Dustin Wolf and Soloviev got back sent back to the AHL Wranglers. That's something to note as well. We hopefully might see Dustin Wolf back again soon, depending on how the Flames deal with the goalkeepers. We have Jacob Markstrom and Dan Vladar. Talking about Dan Vladar, he was amazing last game against Tampa Bay Lightning, and man, that game was actually really good. They played first period was 0-0. Second period was 3-0 for the Flames. We were thinking there was some word out there. Dan Vlada might get a shutout, but he didn't. Third period, it got a little bit stressful. Tampa Bay scored two quick goals, making it 3-2. And then, believe it or not, Connor Zari was the lifeline for us. He scored the fourth goal, the game winning goal for us. And even when Tampa Bay Lightning pulled its goalkeeper at the 3 minute mark, which is little too early, I would say. Um, Dan Vladar was on fire and kept us alive till the game. So, amazing game played against Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's hope the home streak energy continues. We have one more game tonight at home, and then we get a 1 or 2 day rest, and then we play Anaheim Ducks on Thursday. That's a game we can easily win. I was there at the Dome when they played the Ducks last season towards the end. So that was a fun game. I think they won. I have these stats here. Hold on. I'll just retrieve that for you all quickly. But I remember they won against the Ducks on April 2nd. 2023. They won 5-4, the Flames at the Saddle Dome. And yeah, that was a good victory. Then it followed by me being at the Dome again on April 12th. Sharks with a Zadorov hat trick, 3-1. Unfortunately, we won't get to see any more, what you call Zadorov hat tricks or not. Murray Edwards, Flames owner. I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't seen much. I don't know who really Murray Edwards is. In his owner point of view, I may need to research, but as a newer Flames fan, I haven't really looked into it. I've heard people don't like the owner so much and the management. Of course, I can see that perspective, but I haven't researched much about Edwards himself. That might be something that I will do in the near future and have a show on. We'll see if that permits or not. But yeah, Flames management will have a lot of things to do in the upcoming days and months and years to come. We'll see how that takes a turn. But everybody, thanks for joining us. We are once again live on YouTube. If you're chatting live, like Tuxedo, join us. YouTube live chat is open. AU's vlog. Twitter lines are open at CGY_Anand. This time I got a bit of a reach because I shared it on Instagram as well. I'll be live more since my classes are done, my semester is over. So whenever I have free time, I'll be hopping on live. If you have any topics that you want me to talk about, I would love it. But again, if you missed the memo tonight, the Flames are playing the Florida Panthers. Matthew Kachuk is back in town to face the Flames, and that's going to be interesting. We don't know if we'll see booze around the Saddle Dome, or are we going to see a welcome? We don't know yet. It will be interesting. Game is just less than an hour away. Thanks for joining us on this pre-game show. We were talking about Jacob Marsham and Chris Tanev is back on the lineup. We were talking about Huberdeau might score his first a score might score the Flames' first goal, depending on if he's ready for it against his former team. My guess is Martin Pospisil to score the Flames' first game. We'll see what happens. Um, yeah, a lot of interesting thoughts for the Flames coming up ahead. What else did I see on the social media? We don't. We do have the lineup. I believe it's almost the same going into the game tonight. We have Manjupane Lindum Sharangovic on the first line. I really love Sharangovic. He's been amazing for us. Second line is Zari Kadri Pospisil. Zari Pospisil, amazing. Kadri is also been good recently. Third line, Huberdeau, Backlund, Coleman. Backlund and Coleman, awesome. Huberdeau, we all know not so much. We'll see if that changes tonight. Greer, Rushitska, Dube. Greer, good. Rushitska, Dube, not so much. We'll see if that changes tonight. On the defense side, we have Viger and Anderson. Viger has been amazing, one of the best defensemen for us recently. And Anderson as well, he's been amazing. Hannafin and Tanev. Tanev, he's back into the line. And then we have Gilbert and D. Simone and Markstrom starting us off. So that's your Flames lineup for this evening. Game is at 7:30. Thanks for joining me on this pregame show. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned for my Twitter and social media updates as I always do after every Flames score. So that will be something to see. Once again, if you're out there watching live, Twitter lines are open at CGY underscore Anand. YouTube live chat is open at AU's vlog. And this has been your Flames pre-game talk show on Talk with Anand. We are on episode 16. It's happy to have you all on board. Let's quickly talk about traffic and weather as I always do on our show, which I haven't done already. I just want to keep you all updated if you are out on the drive or not. Let's quickly take it to traffic real quick. I have the maps open. It has been a quiet drive so far in Calgary. Couple of incidents there were earlier, but it's easing up really well right now. Let's see. Deerfoot slowdown has eased. 16th Avenue is seeing a bit of slowdown here and there. Which area is this? This is downtown. You will see tons of delays downtown, especially with the construction. And because the Flames are playing at the Saddle Dome this evening, that will be something interesting to keep an eye out for. We'll keep you updated on it as well. Crowchild is seeing a bit of volume right around Memorial Drive. Those might be the early comers to the Saddle Dome, depending on which direction you're coming from. Trains will be packed, be aware of that. Other than that, oh yeah, we are seeing a bit of slowdown on. This is McLeod Trail near the shopping centers and Chinook Mall. You will expect delays in that area. That's because of holiday shoppers and people getting from work and to home. Let's look at weather wise right now. Take a look at weather, how it's going to shape up. I don't have news on what it will look like for Christmas, but tomorrow we are seeing a high of -1 with a chance of flurries. So maybe a little snow. Wednesday is high of 7. Thursday is high of 7. Friday jumps again, high of 8. Saturday we cool down for chance of flurries or rain showers for 3 degrees. Sunday is 1. So right now, I don't know what to expect for weather wise when it comes to Calgary, but a lot of warming options. 7. I know, right? It's so warm. Yeah, we don't know if we'll get a white Christmas or not. 7, 7, 7, 7, and 8 for the next couple of days. We were talking about this morning. I was chatting with one of my friends at the barber shop. I got a haircut today, and he was telling we have rain. There is rain in the U.S., but we don't have snow. It's so bizarre. We'll see what happens. Um, all right, I might have a guest to join me here real quick. We'll see if we can. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, it's been really warm. No snow, and it's going to be interesting. I'll confirm the guest shortly. Let them get back to me, maybe. Let's see what happens. Maybe he'll just watch. We don't know yet. I'll confirm in a moment. It's an impromptu guest. I invited him. He just saw my message, so we'll see. Once again, Flames are Florida Panthers are facing tonight at the Saddledome. Game is at 7:30. We were talking about Jacob Markstrom and Chris Tanev returning back in the lineup. Lot of thoughts when it comes to Flames recently. We'll see what happens, and that's that. Uh, and we were talking about who are the guests is. Please come through. All right, we'll see. Hope the guest joins us. I have sent him a message, um, but we'll give it a couple of minutes. Thanks for cheering me on, Tuxedo. I appreciate that. But I'm good with doing solo as of right now as well. I enjoy your conversations. Um, yeah, so traffic wise, it's currently smooth out there. Weather wise, it's warm in Calgary. We are expecting 7 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday is 8 degrees. We'll see what happens. I would appreciate maybe a white Christmas. That's how everything goes. But the signs of it right now, we're not gonna have it. Only a few couple days of flurries, and that's too. It's just flurries. Flurries usually means it's very light, and it's not gonna stay. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. And yeah, that's that. Let me see. In the meantime, hold on. Yeah. In the meantime, um, I'll read you all the lines of the game tonight as well while we are at it, because nothing much has changed, but we do want to know Tanner and Mastrom has returned to the lineup. So let's get lines from Pat Steinberg. Igor Sharangovich is my emerging as my favorite flame. Okay, now that's 100% true. That's 100% amazing. He is on fire. Yeah, Yegor Sharangovich has surprised me a lot. He had a slow start at the beginning of the season. Now he's on like a 5 or 6 goal game streak. He is, yeah, Yegor Sharangovich, exactly. He is putting on the show for us. He's helping us in all the ways. Um, it's fantastic to see. And it looks like we have finally won the trade against Tyler Toffoli. Not to say anything bad about Tyler Toffoli. Obviously, he was amazing last season, but Igor Sharangovich might be the best right now, definitely. And comparing Lucic and AJ Greer as well, that is an amazing trade too. Or I think that was a waiver pick, so that's amazing too. So good options for us. We just need to deal with those unrestricted free agents next, who are putting us in a lot of big trouble. And we all know that who that is: Dylan Dubé, possibly Lindholm, possibly Hannafin, possibly Kristanov, and all that. All right, we have our guest here. I'm gonna see and put him live on the show right now. Noah, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, last minute caller for you. Got you in. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, and I'm happy to join you this late, and especially just before the Flames play the Florida Panthers in the Matthew Tkachuk return game. So it's well, I mean, in the second return, Matthew Tkachuk came into the dome, but I mean, we went through the whole thing last year of like, okay, boo cheer, this that. So, but it feels like a normal game night though, if I'm going to be honest.
All right. We have got some few cheers in the YouTube live chat. Tuxedo is happy to see you, Noah. And Noah, you are the second part of the second half of the Flaming Talk podcast. We had Connor a couple days ago, and now you are live with us. Noah, once again,
Yeah,
thanks for joining us. Hope you had a
you
great
betcha.
day. And let's start with We are playing the Florida Panthers this evening. We have two major returns for the team. We have Jacob Markstrom and Cristiano, who were missing for the most part of last week and the week ago. Let's talk about both of them. What do you think? How much their return is critical for the Flames?
Well, well, listen. I mean, if we're talking about the team, itself wanting to remain competitive, I mean, it's critical in that regard. But if you're also basing it fully on trying to up their trade value even more, that's even more crucial. I think personally over trying to remain competitive in that stretch, right? So, um, I said it on the comment yesterday. Is that Markstrom? I think we should be talking about Jacob Markstrom being the one traded instead of Dan Vladar, because if you want to talk about trying to clear up cap space, and if you want to have cap stability, and if you want to make a decision between these goalies, I think the smartest route would be to trade Markstrom, because you basically be removing $6 million off of your cap space at that point, and he's getting older, man. Like, he's gonna be 34 next month. Like, and I don't think he wants to be part of a possible retool rebuild. So I think in that regard, I think the smartest decision would be to move Marshall at the deadline. But I don't know where he's at with that. But I guess we'll have to see what happens in that regard. Um, and Tanev, I mean, and look, listen, I have a lot of worries every time Chris Tanev goes to block a shot with his face or with his groin or something like that, to that extent. And dude, I want this guy healthy, because I know very well that he's going to be that deadline trade that is like, okay, he's going to get you a boatload of assets back, because every team's going to be like, okay, we need a Chris Tanev as a defenseman coming to playoffs. And then Tuxedo just pointed out possibly market to the Devils. Maybe, maybe. I could see him going to Carolina. I mean, I know that's another team that needs a goaltender. I know the Oilers has been brought up. I mean, we've mentioned it on the podcast too, and I wouldn't necessarily be against that. Not if a first round pick is coming back. Like, if a first round pick is coming back, and I'm like, okay, I take that and run in a hurry, basically. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it should be really interesting to see what happens from here until now, from here until the deadline. But I think, and listen, I have my pessimism about ownership willing to let Connie and the team, sell all the assets out, but you're starting to get a good idea as to what this team's going to do in the span of the next couple of months.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We were just talking about it. We have few unrestricted free agents that are going to be interesting to see moves. We talked about Dylan Dubé. We talked about Elias Lindholm. We talked about Noah Hannafin. Now Kristanov and Jacob Markstrom, all of them in the picture. Let's talk about a few of our young guns that are shining for the
By the
flame.
way, by the way, I want to point out about Lindholm. I want to point out about Lindholm for a second here, because
Yeah,
they were talking about that on the 960 today. The Avs cleared up $4.8 million of cap space, and Elias Lindholm's cap hit is $4.8 million. That doesn't feel like a coincidence at all that they did that. I feel that they are gonna, maybe not even now, but in the next maybe month or two. Um, I think they're going to make a very strong push for Lindholm. Now, what does Colorado give us? I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I mean, maybe a Bowen Byron, but I think that would be more off limits. I think. I don't think the Avs would trade him, at least not right now.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I think I said in the group chat the other day about being probably Kale Makarvige because he's a Calgarian, but they said it might be a couple of years into
Yeah,
we.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
not trading Cam McCarr.
no, fair enough.
Yeah, no chance. No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If you called the Avs and said we want Cale McCarr for Elias Lindholm, they would probably hang the phone up on you.
All right. Now let's talk about some positive news. Of course, we know Igor Sharangovich, AJ Greer, Konazari, Pospisil Kadri. What are your thoughts about those young guys? How do you see them playing for the Flames right now?
Well, first of all, Kadri's definitely. Let's be very frank on that. Um, I've said it on. I've said about Kadri on whether it was the show or the live stream or even on Twitter too, is that Nelson Kadri's career would be dead in the water if it wasn't for Connor Zary. And Connor Zary's having a Calder type year. Like, let's be honest here, if Connor Bedard wasn't a thing in the National Hockey League, and if he didn't exist, then probably there's a world where Connor Zary is competing for the Calder. Like, he has a very good shot at winning the Calder, but we know he's not winning the Calder this year because obviously it's going to Connor Bedard. But boy, man, he's looked really good. Like, he's looked like a lot better than I thought he was going to end up being, because I thought that maybe he was at best maybe second center, third line center caliber, maybe somewhere around there. But I didn't think he was this good. I didn't think he had this much ceiling and looks this good, man. I didn't expect that at all. So he's been impressive so far. And Pospisil, I mean, I think someone mentioned it on the chat today that we have, that he could be a Kachuk type in terms of, okay, he's that shit disturber type guy, right? Not to the point where, he's scoring 100 points, but to a point where it's like, okay, he's a shit disturber. He's making things happen. He could possibly be like 40, 50-point guy, maybe ranging around there. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I mean, we were screaming for a youth movement going into the season, and have done that so far. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what direction they actually take here, because they're in the youth movement, but it's like, okay, are you still competing, or are you actually trying to retool or rebuild? Like, what are you doing here exactly?
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what happens. One other player, whether if you are not in Team Tank or Team Retool, or you're just going for the competitive, one of the players that really surprised a lot, are giving us depression, are giving us anxiety, is Jonathan Huberdeau. And we all know
Yeah.
that.
Well, I knew you were going to bring that up.
Let's talk about him for a bit. What are your thoughts and how he has played recently?
Dude, I don't even want to. I don't even want to. Even get going more on Jonathan Huberdeau than I've already had, man. And I mean, him being in the shootout the other night against the Minnesota Wild, that was like the whole thing that represents his 10 years of flame. Like, it really does. Like, it's like, I don't understand why they try to keep putting him in the shootout first and foremost. And I mean, I don't know what you do at this point, man, with him. Like, I really don't know what you do, because this is a guy who's making $10.5 million, who basically is a shell of what he was 2 years ago when he scored 115 points, and he was in hard voting. This guy was in top five in hard voting not even 2 years ago. Like it's unreal how historically bad of a fallen out this is for Jonathan Huberdeau. Like, I don't know what you do, man. Like, you can't you can't you can't trade him. That there's no one's taking that contract on. Like, impossible, right? Like, I mean, I would be absolutely stunned if someone was like, "Hey, we can take this contract on for you." It'd have to be something like a San Jose or something like that, who basically have a lot of cap space in a team that's being terrible, right? And you can't buy him out. You especially can't buy him out, because you're stuck with him for 14 years on your cap, and that's like Rick DiPietro level type stuff, like Bobby Bonilla like level type stuff, right? That's not ideal. So I really don't know what you do, man. Like, you're at the point where it's like, okay, we're gonna need for him to be good and do something here, because then it's like, okay, we can get his value up to the point where, okay, we can finally trade this guy and get at least something back. So I don't know what you do, man. I really don't.
Yeah, definitely. I'll quickly
It's
make.
gonna turn
Yeah.
out to be the worst contract in NHL history. Like, without a shadow of a doubt, this is gonna be the worst contract in the history of the NHL. Like, I have no doubts about that now at this point.
Yeah, I could possibly see that happening unless he turns around, which I hope
But even I
there
don't
are
see
me.
that either.
Yeah,
But even I don't see that either, because like, it just, there hasn't been flashes of that, right? There hasn't been flashes of the same old Jonathan Huberdeau that we knew in the Florida Panthers. It's just not the it's not the same. And there's no flashes of him turning around anytime soon.
Yeah, I'll make a quick reference here with in terms of cricket. There is a player who plays for the Indian cricket team. His name is Virat Kohli. He used to have a bit of downfall recently, especially when the pandemic time was around. But then he turned it up, his game style, and now he's one of the best players back again after a bit short of downfall. So that's with my hope again with Jonathan Hobedo again. Here is hoping he makes a comeback as some players do. I know everybody gets a shortfall here and there. There are worse times in some people's life, but then they rebound back. That's what I'm hoping for Jonathan Huberto as well. We don't know if it will happen. What's going to be the next change that's got to happen? Whether it's a Peltier
But
return or
here's the thing, though. Here's the
yeah.
thing, though, is that I know I understand people have been saying that Peltier will give him a boost. Well, why don't you trade for Anthony Declare? That might help him get. I mean, guys, nothing's fixing this guy. Like you could bring in an Anthony Declare all you want. You could say Peltier can come back and help give him a boost all he wants. It's not happening, guys. Like you're stuck with that contract for the next 8 years potentially at $10.5 million. I don't know what. That's the thing. It's like I don't see it. Like compared to anyone else that said that, I'm glad. I mean, listen, I for one will say that people still having a level of optimism that he can still be a good player. I mean, I applaud you for that, but at the same time, it's like I don't think that's in the cards. I don't really think it's going to happen. At least not here in Calgary.
All right, yeah. Tuxedo says, I don't think Huberto will pass 70 points in a season as a Flames. I really don't.
Never, never.
Yeah.
It's not happening. Never. It's not happening. The guy's on pace for 40 points, guys. Like, it's not happening. It's not happening here. Like, it just isn't.
Yeah, possibly. All right, maybe a few more questions before we wrap up this game because we're just 30 minutes away from Florida Panthers game against um, Calgary Flames. Noah, do you think we'll see Saddle Dome boost tonight for Matthew Kachuk? Or do you think what's going to happen?
If people boo Matthew Kachuk, then they're such losers, man. Like, come on. Like, just stop. Like if I was at that game tonight, I wouldn't be doing anything. Like, guys, grow up. Grow up. Like if you want to boo anyone, boo Brad Treliving, who's no longer here, who ended up making maybe one of the absolutely worst trades in the history of the franchise. If we don't include Mackenzie Weegar and Cole Schwint, if it's just simply Jonathan Huberdeau and the way it's played out so far, then yes, it's one of the worst trades in the history of the franchise. Um, but guys, like just grow up. Like
Yeah,
like come on, just stop, just stop.
I'm not going to be at the game tonight as well. I'm going to watch from home. Uh, but yeah, hope people don't boo Kachuk too much because yeah, it's should I say immature of booing? Maybe sorta kinda. Let's see what
I
happens.
wouldn't say maturing, but it's just like guys, like Chucky did something that a lot of NHL players can do. Is they can request trades out and they can decide, hey, I want to go to this place instead of that place. Um, and Tuxedo says the only players that fan base should be booing is Adam Fox. Guys, and then again, I'm going to say this again about Adam Fox. He just stop, just stop.
All right, one final question, maybe. What are your thoughts or prediction on scores tonight for Florida Panthers and Calgary Flames?
Uh that's a good question. So the Flames are playing let's see, let me bring up the name for a second here. Unless you have it. Do you have who's starting for Florida again tonight? Because I know who is, but I can't even remember the name now at
Oh,
this point.
yeah, hold on.
I'm
Yeah, I
terrible.
have it. I have past members. Hold on. I know. So we have the Anthony Stolaris, if I pronounce it correctly, for goaltending for Florida
Never heard of
Panthers.
him until today.
And we have Jacob
Yeah,
Marshall
never
starting
heard of
for
him until
us.
today. Yeah, it's gonna very likely be a Panthers win, just because knowing the Flames are playing a no man goaltender that no one probably has ever heard of. Like Flames are famous for making no name goaltenders like just beat them like they're Mario Brodeur and Dominic Hasek. So I'll say 2-1
2-1
Panthers.
Panthers. All right. So for Anthony Flores or Stolaris, sorry. Yeah, so in this 2023-2024 season, he has played 8 games. He has won 4 of them. None of them has gone into shootout. He has a 0.915 percentage of saves.
Small sample size, but not bad.
And Tuxedo says Stolaris played in Anaheim as the backup goaltender.
Well, I didn't even know that either. So thanks for
Thanks for
mentioning.
mentioning that, Tuxedo. Yeah, definitely. We have a tendency to be bad against backup goaltenders or unheard goaltenders. So maybe you're right, Noah. We'll see. You say 2-1 win for the Panthers. We'll see how that happens. They were really strong against Edmonton Oilers few nights ago. We know that. We saw that score. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Once again, everybody, thank you, Noah, for joining us on this pregame talk show on Talk with Anand. It has been an absolute pleasure. For those who don't know, Noah can be reached at Flaming Talk Podcast, or his handle is, hold on, I'll just get you. His handle is Real Noah Adler 99. So if you have any questions for him, he's on with Connor with the Flaming Talk podcast, but I do know that they are taking a 2 week hiatus. So maybe I'll have Noah or Connor here again sometime soon before the 2 week hiatus ends to talk about more Flames hockey. Once again, everybody, thanks for joining us. Have a good evening. Enjoy the Flames game. Stay tuned to my social medias as well for score updates. Have a good one and see you all soon.